Billions of Kenyan shillings are getting lost each and every day, and nobody is questioning why this is happening. Now, I want to be categorically with the issue of NHIF and the SHIF. Now, the government said this was meant to be a transition from National Health Insurance Fund to Social Health Insurance Fund. And they were actually saying that the minimal pay has been reduced from the 500 monthly contribution to 300 in Shif. Now, this is where the problem is. You are being told that each and every person will be subjected to a pay of 2.75% of the total gross income. In fact, also the unsalaried people are supposed to pay this Shif. Then you ask the question why. If I'm unsalaried, I don't get monthly pay, I'm unemployed, I have no job, where should I get this money from? Then the government tells you that you'll get it from Ministry of Cooperatives, loans from Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs. So you get a loan to pay your SHIF. That is if you are unsalaried, you are unemployed. Now the question is, where will you get money to pay that loan? You understand? Now, amidst all these, billions of money are getting lost from various government schemes, and I want to be very categorical. Like in NHIF, 21 billion 109 million 205,000 and some shillings. I want to be very exact with it. 21 billion 109 million 205,434 lost in NHIF. How? Nobody knows. Now, service delivery was also hampered in these systems. These, we are talking issues way back in February, and up to date, nobody is talking about them. We have been so washed with the Gachagua-Ruto fight and rivalry, such that we are forgetting other things that we are supposed to be keeping count of, checks and balances of. Now, the National Police Service and Kenya Prison Services Scheme lost 4.1 billion Kenyan shillings. Civil Servant Scheme lost 2.9 billion. Linda Mama Scheme lost 2.3 billion. Parastatals lost 700.7 million. Edu Afia lost 683.9 million. County schemes 525.3 million. Retirement scheme 191 million. Nobody is asking where these monies are. Who is responsible? How can money just vanish on thin air? And remember when I told you, when we are talking so much about the rivalry between Gachagua and Ruto, some things are happening in the background. Now, watch this video up here. The link is up here that I really talked about this issue. This link up here, I really talked about that issue extensively, saying that the moment we are concentrating on one thing, something else is happening. They create a conflict so that you forget about some other things. That is how looters, function. Now, back to these NHIF and SHIF. Why am I seeing these as a crime against humanity? Because right now, Mama Mbogas, they cannot be treated using the NHIF card, despite deductions are being made on monthly basis. Right now, nobody can go into any hospital and be accorded treatment using NHIF card. And remember, there was a deadline put for transiting into the Shif, the Social Health Insurance Fund. Unfortunately, even if you go into the system, yes, you'll be asked your details. Then you key it in. There is this issue of biometrics. You are being told you'll have to visit an agent, a Shif agent, who will be able to take your biometrics and possibly add the beneficiary who will be benefiting from that card. Now, I've tried to walk around asking even doctors, qualified doctors, professional doctors on this same issue. Where can someone take the biometrics? They also don't know. All they claim is there is a lot of confusion in this stuff. Nobody is giving relevant information. Systems are not in place to ensure that this information that is collected, one, is safe, two, is a very transient process. You see, Kenya Kwanza administration said it was supposed to be a transition. Unfortunately, this is not a transition. This is a totally new registration. There are a few tips that I could share with the government. I don't know the kind of people who work with the government. I don't know what kind of advice is, unless the government does not listen. Now, we have what we call domain. Yeah? We have the government domain. Now, for the website for NHIF is nhif.go.ke. Yeah? So, nhif.go.ke. It can simply be changed into SHIF. It is very possible, and maintain all the data. You can only do a few adjustments in terms of payments. The Mondas operators, the way of operating. You maintain the website, change the domain. That is what we call a transition. Yeah. But when you create a totally new system, totally new registration, and already we are being told an average of 1.2 million Kenyans have already registered with the Shif. The question is, when they pay, where will they be accessing these services? Because as we speak, there is no place whereby you can take those biometrics. And you really have, for you to complete that registration, you have to take your biometrics. Do you want to tell me, or do you want me to believe that there is nothing behind the curtain happening? All the monies that have been paid that are in NHIF accounts, all the people who are going to do claims, how are they going to be assisted? And I want to quote the Secretary General for the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union. This is Dr. Davji Atela. He did say that this was an outright exploitation of workers. Maybe you can tell me the best way it can be called, because for me, I honestly support it. This is an outright exploitation of workers, because how do you get deductions made to your health insurance? Then, unfortunately, when you want to seek medical attention from the said hospitals that accept the said service, then you're being told we cannot use NHIF. Because even them, when they send claims to NHIF, they cannot get compensation, they cannot get paid. And you see, these drugs are so expensive. So no hospital will be able to treat you when they know they're not going to get that money into the account. It is so unfortunate. This is a point whereby lives will get lost. That is why I'm saying this is a crime against humanity, and the Kenya Kwanza administration should be held accountable for this. Yeah? I mean, millions and billions of Kenyan shillings are being lost in these schemes. Civil servant scheme, 2.9 billion. Linda Mama, 2.3 billion. Parastatal, 780.7 million. Edu Afya, 683.9 million. County schemes, 525.3 million. Retirees scheme, 191 million. Then we have NHIF 21 billion 109 million 205,434. Unaccountable. Now, this is what I got from an inside source. When they want to steal from NHIF, they create an existing problem. They create a liability. And after creating that liability, that is where those monies will be channeled to. When they get lost, then it becomes the liability. Oh man. Who will save Kenyans? Who will be I mean, right now we are battling so many things. The lost billions, the mining that is happening behind it is just being swept under the carpet. But those who call themselves the who and who in the society, we are battling lies from the sitting president. We are battling conflict between the president and his deputy. We are battling Adani Group taking over Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. We are battling the same Adani that wants also to come and take hold of the scrap of the NHIF and now take hold and control SHIF. And by the way, there is nothing like Adani. It is alleged that actually President Ruto is just using Adani Group as a vehicle to purchase Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. It is his money that he's looted from the coffers of the government. Taxpayers' money that looted it. The same money who wants to use it to purchase Jomo Kenyatta, NHIF, the SHIF, and many more, the port of Mombasa, But now this is happening through the Adani Group. I mean, how do you want everything within a very short window? Jomo Kenyatta, the SHIF, new education system, ports, police. I mean, something is amiss. Something is being cooked. Then you want to say that there is no money in Kenya. Kenya is a very rich nation. Kenya is a very rich nation. But it is under captivity. There are imperialists who are still using other nationalists, other citizens who are into government positional top leadership to ensure that a stable nation. So unless you rise and fight for what is right, I mean, this conversation should not just end here online. People should come out, talk. People should seek the truth, because this account must have moved from one account to another account. Then the funny thing, you're being told there is no data of such a transaction. How can just money vanish and you can't even account for it? There is no statement to show that this money came from this account and transferred from this account, because a transaction must have been made somewhere. Right now, if I send you money through M-Pesa and I request for a statement, I'll get it. There is database. I mean, we have people who conduct forensics, IT forensics. They are there. They can do that and can trace how that money was looted. And the people who are responsible, the culprits, are brought to book and justice be done. How do you even want somebody who is unemployed to... I mean, you're making this a mandatory process. Then you're telling them that they will be receiving loans from the Ministry of Cooperatives and the MSMEs in order to pay for the social health insurance fund. Then, who will help them pay those loans? If these specific phone loans of 500 bob, 1,000 bob, it takes them years to pay, and some of them even don't pay. How do you expect them to pay this? So the government is just interested in milking you dry and making sure that they take everything out of you. At the end of the day, that money will be into the pockets of the oppressors, people who are so keen and interested in looting from the public coffers. People are dying out of hunger. Nobody's helping them. Right now, you cannot go and seek medical attention using your NHIF card. I mean, it is so unfortunate that this is happening in this century. We should not be blindfolded. We have leaders who are still being controlled by imperialists to make sure that they take us through the most difficult time in history. We battled Corona and still we are being forced to battle this. We should open our eyes and we should not allow ourselves to be oppressed by the dictators, by the rulers. We need leaders, and we have leaders. Unfortunately, when it comes to the ballot, we always forget about this. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio. If you love content of this nature and you're watching from YouTube, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from Facebook, kindly follow our Facebook page for regular updates. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.